Yeah. Okay, we are going to start now. We are going to start our webinar for this beautiful afternoon. You are welcome from wherever you are joining us. Thank you for joining this session today. And I hope we guys are going to have some good time together, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just some quick check. I hope you guys received, and I guess you received an email, you joined from the email, right? And I expected that a lot of us have also downloaded Power BI, and we also have our data set. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So which means that we are all good to go.
Yes.
Okay, so we start now. Are we also people that joined last week? Or maybe you didn't join, but you watched the recorded section?
I'm new here.
Which of them? So it's a mixture of the two, right?
This is my first class for me.
Okay, Titilaya, you are welcome. So we had the previous session last week. I'm going to just send the link again today. Okay, we have somebody. Okay, I'm sorry, Afo Akpos or some. I didn't really get the pronunciation. So thank you. Okay, so let's start because we have some interesting things to do today. So what do we have for us? We are going to have a short presentation in Power BI in PowerPoint. Then we just head over to what? To Power BI to see some demo for us that I have for us. So you are welcome. I can see someone admin. Okay. SD, I can see SD. I think I also have SD.
That is Afolabi last week.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch the voice, but I can't catch it yet. Who is? Okay, that's SD. SD is Afolabi. Yeah.
Yes, that's cool.
Then we have Oxygen. I can remember this name. He joined last week. And I'm trying to see someone. Admin. Someone is admin and he's also joining. He or she's also joining. Thank you. Rokoya Sole Ibrahim. Thank you. Okay. So again, this is just a brief introduction about me. You must have seen that in the previous slide before, in the previous class before. But if you are just joining us today again, my name is Afiz Jimo and I'm a Microsoft certified data analyst and also a trainer. So I train technologies in the area of Power BI, Office 365, and SQL. And I also do some other stuff in the area of cloud technology. I do some other stuff in data science. But for our session today, or for you guys that are watching me today, I'm a certified trainer, I'm a data analyst, and I'm here to give a presentation to you guys today on Power BI and what we can do with Power BI. So Power BI, I expected a lot of us should have downloaded it. Yes. So in Power BI, what do we have? Basically, I asked you guys to download Power BI Desktop. That is what I asked you to download. We have some other features in Power BI which you didn't download. Are we together, guys? So we have some other features which you guys didn't download. But what I asked you guys to download, or what we are going to be working with basically is the Power BI Desktop. So what is the Power BI Desktop? It's just the desktop component of everything we call Power BI. So if I say Power BI, that I'm skilled in Power BI, or I'm a Power BI trainer, it means that I have full understanding, or you call yourself a Power BI developer. It means that you have full understanding, or you can use all the 5 components that are listed here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the desktop and the report builder, those two things, this guy and this guy, they are the one that you download on your computer. Then this guy, the Power BI mobile, you download it on your phone, on your mobile device, whether you use an Android or Apple device or Microsoft device. So you download it there. Then we have the Power BI online premise, which is the Power BI service. It is a cloud-based service. Guys, are we together? Yes or no? Response, please. Feel free to use.
Yes, we are here.
Yeah.
We're together.
Feel free to use the, to use the chat or to unmute yourself to speak, right, guys? So as I was saying,
We are here.
yeah, as I was saying, so the Power BI server is a cloud-based service. So you actually access it through your what? Through the browser. You have to go to the browser to see it. And we have the mobile, you download it on your mobile device. You don't do analysis in your Power BI mobile, you view analysis in Power BI mobile. You view reports and dashboard. If you work in an organization, you have a report, maybe a monthly KPI, a weekly KPI, you work for maybe a telecom service, they always want to track something or the other every day. You can have a Power BI dashboard designed that can be accessed. That can be accessed from what? From the Power BI mobile. So everybody in their hand can see what is happening, can check the KPI, can check the goals of the organization. So that is that about that. And I move to my next slide. So what we have, it may seem a little bit confusing, but don't be confused. It's just a new technology, but it's very simple to use. So what is the flow of activity when you develop? Remember, I call it Power BI and sisters, which means that we have Power BI, it has sisters, which is the desktop, the mobile, the data gateway, the Power BI server, and the Power BI server, and the Power BI mobile. So, as I was saying, that is what we have in Power BI. Those are the sisters. So what is the flow of activity when you want to work with Power BI? I asked you guys to download Power BI desktop. So all your work starts from Power BI desktop. Then once you are done with Power BI desktop, you have to be connected to the internet. You need to have a sign-in. You need to have a Microsoft login. Then when you have that Microsoft login, you cannot publish your reports to the web, to the server. You can publish from your report to the server. So when you have your reports in the server, you can now do a lot of things. You can publish it, you can send it to someone, you can send it to someone, you can make it available on the mobile device. You can do a lot of stuff. You can publish it to the web and a lot of stuff. So that is what we have about the Power BI and its sisters. So what is it? Remember, we have discussed it already that Power BI comes from, it comes from an evolution. Evolution from where? Evolution from from Excel. Excel was the first guy that we had.
Yes.
Yes. Then later, Microsoft decided to give us Power BI. We all understand that before. So, but what are the benefits it has for you? It gives you benefits to have auto refresh. So you can always stay up to date with your data with Power BI. So what I mean is that I have my data sitting somewhere in the warehouse, in the data warehouse. It can be an Excel file, it can be a SharePoint folder, it can be a web page, it can be, your data can be anywhere. So that data is going to be updated. Once that data is going to be updated, you don't need to rebuild your reports. You have made a connection to it. So it allows you to do what? Auto refresh, and it is going to refresh with your data, and you have an updated report of whatever is happening. So which means you only need to build your report how many times? Anybody? You only need to build your report how many times?
Once.
Once. Thank you very much. You only need to build your report once.
Yes.
And once it is shared within those people that need to see it, you can make it available to the public. That's when you publish it to the web. But let's assume it's within an organization. Some organizations have up to 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 staffs. So, and they always need to see something. So that means is that in fact, if the organization is 10 people and you have something you need to share within among yourself, you can also use Power BI for that. And you can always see what is happening. You can splice sources. What we mean by splice is you can easily create relationships between different parts of reports. So I have a report, a sales data, and I quickly want to see, okay, how much did this manager made for me in this particular month? And you can easily click on the manager and you see everything that concerns that manager. And if you don't want to see it by manager, you can quickly say that, oh, I want to see it by a...
So sorry to cut you short. Are you recording the video?
I think so, yeah.
Please help us check if you are recording.
I'm
recording. I hope you are going to send this slide.
Please, this guy, you said is writing. Please help us to check, sir. Maybe you are recording the video because it will be very important.
I'm recording, but are you grabbing what I'm saying?
Following, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. That is important so that you don't waste your time. Time is very valuable. So you get what I'm trying to say about Power BI like that. So it allows you to what was I saying? It allows you to splice sources to filter, to say that, okay, I want to see what is happening, how much, if Kayode is a manager in so called organization, let us see how much he has contributed. What is it doing? What is the KPI? So it allows you to quickly do that on a published report, and it is going to come up with the result automatically. And what next do I have? And it has a lot of capacity and speed. Anyway, I think I've discussed this already in the chat in our WhatsApp classes. Like I said, people say, I did not say so, guys. People say that Excel has limitation. And one of those things they say is that, okay, the maximum number of rows you can have in Excel is how many? Anybody? Yeah, it's about 1 million. It's about 1 million. 1 million, yeah, a million plus. So it's the maximum number, which means that when your data is above 1 million, you cannot enter more data into Excel. But even before you get to 1 million, by the time you are getting to 30,000 rows, 30,000 is still small. By the time you are getting to 100,000 rows, 300,000 rows, Excel is going to become slow. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's not about whether you are using a very powerful laptop or not. Excel is just going to be what? Slow. You understand?
Yes.
Apart from the fact that it is going to be slow, if your data is about 10 million rows, it's very possible. Like those places that generate up to 10 million rows of data, places like telecoms, bank, imagine the number of transactions that happens on the ATM. And you want to consolidate all those reports in an Excel file, for example. Just an example. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yes. ATM across the whole country, for GTB, for example, or for Zenith Bank, you can imagine the number of transactions that we are going to have. So those are something, but there is a way you can do it that you can make Excel work with those kind of data. But that is not just the normal way, you understand? We can still find a way to do it. But normally, Excel has that disadvantage. It has that limitation. So we have capacity and speed, and that is that. And we just want to know how those tools relate with each other. So let me just quickly do something like this. Basically, this is the workflow. Whether you even work with Excel, you work with Power BI. When you want to, your reporting pipeline is going to be something like this that I have shown in this slide today, in this particular slide. But this slide that we have now, that is what we are going to be doing in this class, except that we are going to be doing something like this. You know, we are the author now. Then we move like this and we go here. We are not going to go to Excel canvas. You understand? We are not going here. We are going which direction? This Power BI report direction. But we can decide to go up also. That is when we use Power Pivots. I mentioned in one of my classes on WhatsApp that we have something called Power Pivots.
Yes.
Power Pivots that gives us the capability to go there. But I don't want to use Power Pivot. It's the old guy. There are a lot of things I can't do with it. So let me just use the fresh guy. You understand? That guy that I call the best thing after jollof rice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's just use it and be happy, right? So, why should we? Because it has a lot of other features. It has a lot of other capabilities. Why not just use it? And that is what we want to do. That is just the workflow. So we have our raw data. We are going to transform our data. Power Query. Power Query is an ETL tool. So when we call in data, let me call it in. If anybody is a database guy here, they are going to know what ETL tool is. Is a common language used by database guys. But whether we are database or not, what ETL means is extract, transform, and load. So basically, Power Query allows me to extract my raw data, I transform my raw data, and I load my raw data to wherever I want to load it to. But before loading, I need to know what? My data model, because sometimes you can have different data. You can have a transaction data. Then you have another data that is going to tell you that this transaction is made by so person. You understand? So let's assume that particular transaction. We have Abdugoni. Abdugoni is the person that came to buy a product. So which is that he bought a product. That product is going to have a maker, is going to have a category, is going to have a subcategory for a particular product. So that's another data on its own. That's another table. You understand? So I need to be able to connect my transaction data with my data for category, with my data for the person that made the sales, the manager of that person. You understand what I'm trying to say, guys? I don't know if you just give me some feedback.
Yes, we are with you.
Yeah. So I need to be able to connect those different data that I have together. And when I connect them together, I connect them, okay, this and this relates to this, so that I can be able to come up with insights that, okay, this so manager is the one giving us so particular amount of sales. This so category is the one that is selling. This so region is where we are making the highest amount of sales. Remember, you only have one transaction data. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it can also be a COVID. Let's assume we are in, era of COVID. Let me put it like that. Let's assume it's COVID data. You know, what is important in COVID data is what? Is number of people that have COVID in a particular, let's assume in each state. Let's assume Nigeria COVID data. We are going to have states, number of people infected, number of people that have died, number of people that have recovered, and number of people in hospital. These are the information that is important. You understand? But that's just, we can call that your transaction data. But at the end of the day, if I want to get insights in this COVID data, I need to know these people, how many of them are males and females? What kind of work are they doing? What is their age? So that I can say that, oh, COVID is affecting younger people more than old people more than young people, people in Lagos more than Port Harcourt people. Females more than males more than females. I'm sorry, females. So you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So, those other things that I want to use to explain this COVID data, they only want to enrich my report. They are not the exact data. The exact thing that is first of all important is what? Is that number of people that have COVID, number of people infected, number of people that have died, number of people in the hospital. That is the most important thing. You understand? But in order to gain more insights in that data, I need what? I need to go and find other data that is I'm going to use to explain, to gain insights. in that case, I need to be able to connect all this data together and look at how they are what? They are related to each other. Okay, I'm going to quickly jump to Excel. I have my Excel spreadsheet. Can you guys confirm you can see my screen, please? Excel screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is the data I have sent to you guys. I believe we all have it. Okay, so, based on what I've explained, I've laid some foundation for us. So this is my data. I have, okay, let me increase my screen. So we have store, trade dates, model, line of business, revenue, units sold, and target. Target is like, okay, for this particular store, what is the target for a particular day? The amount of sales you need to make. Okay, I have a message in the chat. Okay. Oh, you don't have. How come did you, Gabriel, how did you join then? Did you, Gabriel can chat with me on, okay, let me just check. Just hold on 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to send it in the Zoom. So if you are in Zoom, just download it from your Zoom, please. Okay, 1 minute. So check the chat. Oh, okay, 1 minute. I need to just, I'm going to send it in Zoom, but I need to close it first. So, okay, let's save. So let's have something like this. Hold on for me, guys. I'm sorry. Let's just, so that others are going to be on the same page with us. Okay, let me reshare my screen. It is sent already. In case you are in this Zoom chat, this Zoom call, and you don't have the data, you can check the, what's it called now? You can check the chat and you can find it. Thank you, Abdugani. Okay, so this is our data now, guys. We have our data here now. It's for a particular store. Let's give it a store. Whose name should I pick? Whose name should I pick to call this data? So maybe SD store. Okay, so we have someone called SD in the call. So SD Superstore is the name of this. He owns a supermarket, and the supermarket has branches across some states in Nigeria. So we have sales sheets, and we go to model. So you can see now model sheet is actually explaining this data, is adding more. We want to use it to explain the data. Then we have another one, DLOB, which is line of business. So which means that in this Superstore, we have 4 lines of business: service plan, printer sale, okay, part copier sale. And we want to check region. We have regions. So these are the regions where this store is located. So we have Northeast, Northwest, and other regions. We have state, store, and the likes. And calendar. Calendar is important. Anybody can give me one reason calendar is important? Anybody?
To track trends.
It's for time stamping.
Okay.
To know the data, maybe for time stamping too.
Okay, thank you. Rukoya is trying to say something too. Rukoya Soleh Ibrahim.
Okay, I was saying it can be useful to track the trend of the data over time.
Yes, but You have something called trade dates. Why do you need calendar again? Why do we need calendar again if we have something called trade dates?
I think it's used to answer the question when. You mentioned that in your previous.
Oh, I think this is Okafor Nasandra. You're a very good student. Thank you very much. She says that is used to, she's actually talking in a very high level, but she's very correct. Thank you, Okafor Nasandra. So she said it's used to answer the question of when. Remember, as a data analyst, we don't just jump into our data and begin to analyze. You need to see that, what do I want to do? And that is what is going to determine those kind of data you are going to get. So most of the time, even as an analyst, it might be just this sales data alone they are going to send to you. They will not send D model, DLOB, region, and calendar to you. You are the one that must see that, oh, I have some questions I want to answer. What are those things I need to answer those questions? You understand? So for example, in this data now, remember you have something called store. But if you check it very well, let me just try and do something like a filter on this data. And I'm just want to quickly let you guys see what we have. We can see now that the names in this store, they are basically names of some cities or local governments in Nigeria, if you check it very well. In that instance, when you know that, you now be, okay, I now want to explain this data. You know, I have local governments, but I want to explain this data by states. How much is Lagos State giving me? This data alone you cannot answer that question unless you have something like this. You are not going to connect this particular one to this one. Are we guys together?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm talking too high level, Abby.
It's okay. We can
We
hear you.
understand, Sam.
So if you want, so you have trade date. Trade date alone does not give you any informative thing. You need a calendar that is going to connect to that trade date and tell you that, okay, this particular date is in October. The total number of sales we made in October is this. The total number of sales we made in Q3 is this. It is a calendar that gives you that. So you use it to answer question basically about when. So whenever you have a report and you want to answer a question on when, you have to use something like calendar. When you have to ask that question about where, you have to use something like what? Like where is going to be about geography. So you need to have something that
Region.
is, yes. If you want to answer a question about who, you need a data that tells you about individuals, about who made the sales, who is the person that made this sale, and who are you? What is your name? Who is your father? What is your sex? How old are you? What is your gender? So that we can be able to know, is it males that are driving our organization? Is it people that are from particular region that are driving our organization? You know, we want to come up with that kind of insights in our reports, in our results. We are not just interested in beautiful visuals. Yes, beautiful visual is good, but it's not enough. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So at this instance, I'm opening my Power BI. If you have your Power BI opened on your computer, you are going to have a screen like this.
Yes.
I believe you guys are seeing my screen.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So whenever, any day, anytime you open Power BI, this is what you are going to get, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, this is what you are going to get. No be fight. Now wait till you go get with this. So where do I start from? Where do I start from? Okay. Are we good to go, guys?
Yes, sir.
Are we good to go?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Remember,
Not yet, please.
Okay.
My Excel file is saying Excel cannot open the file says data set webinar because the file format or file extension is not valid.
Okay, Zainab at CTV, thank you. Your Excel is telling you that file extension is not valid. Did you try to modify our file?
No, I'm just trying to open it for the first time.
And you downloaded it from the email. Okay, what you can do is this, sign up at the...
I go free tomorrow.
I'm going to send the file
I go
again.
free tomorrow. I go.
Sign up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the file again to us in the Zoom chat. Download this from there. I don't want to. So Zainab and anybody facing a problem with the data, I'm going to send it again. But I believe I've sent it before, Zainab. Just check the Zoom. Check the Zoom. And check the Zoom chat and download from there. Okay, are we good to go? Yes, good to go, good to go, good to go. We have our Power BI opened already. So basically, I don't want to use more than an hour after now for what I want to show you guys. So I am telling you this, that this is the flow of activity in what we want to do. So we have our raw data already. I showed you. We want to go to Power Query, then we do data modeling, then we go to Power BI. Do you understand everything we want to do? So we are the author. We are already present in class. So we have done this already like that. This is done. We have our raw data, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
We have done it. Yes. So the next thing that remains is what? Is to create a connection to Power Query. That guy, Power Query, is inside Excel. Same Power Query is inside the BI again. It's inside Power BI. It is an ETL tool. It allows you to get and transform your data. So we really need to look if we are going to get and transform. But unfortunately, or fortunately, let me say fortunately, the data I have sent to us is a clean data. You don't really need to, remember in this, you need, as a data analyst, a lot of times you are going to have to clean a dirty data. But this data, to ease our work today, we have a clean data. So we are also going to go to Power Query, but we are not going to be doing a lot of things in Power Query. But let's just quickly do that. How do I get to Power Query? So whenever you have this screen in Power BI that you opened, you have to come here to close it. And it has something over here. I believe you guys can see that. And I click on that button and I close it, bam. And it's gone. So this is my Power BI interface. If you are just, oh, is Power BI another app? You got lost. Oluwatobi, how may I help you? Yes, it's another app we are using in this class. So if you are just joining us, or maybe you just joined the group not so long ago, just try and follow us. You understand? Just try and follow us what we have to do today. So it seems maybe we don't have the what's it called? The app or the data set. Okay, we are good to go. We are good to go. So, okay. So this is the interface, the screen. This screen, we actually call it, where is my annotator? This screen, we actually call it, where are you? This white space that is inside the dotted rectangle, something like that. So we actually call it a canvas. That is the technical name. The register is our canvas. So that is where you build your reports, you build your visualization, you build your whatever you have to do. Okay, but we also have three interfaces again in Power BI desktop. We have the reports view. If you come to my left-hand side here, can you see now that I have reports view? When you just put your mouse on it, you are going to see reports. Then you come to the next guy, you are going to see data, and you come to the next guy, you go to see model. Okay, so we are in our reports view by default. It brings you to reports view by default when you open it. So, but again, remember our first task. We want to get data. We want to go to Power Query. So you can see on your screen, it's even telling you that import data from Excel. import from SQL Server. So which means that you can import from a lot of sources, but I don't want to do it from here. I want to do it from here. Look at my screen, please. Guys, are you following me, please? We have get data. I click on get data and I see a lot of sources. I'm going to click on more. And after clicking on more, I am going to, it's going to bring up another interface for me, another window. And in 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, please, can you come up? We are going to see another, what's happening? Let's just wait for it. Okay, I have it. I believe you guys can see it now. Yes. Yeah, thank you. So we can see, we can get, so when you scroll down, you can see now that you can connect to up to 100 different data sources. Like when we say data source, it is just a term that means where you keep data. You understand? A lot of us, what we are used to is Excel. That data is stored in Excel. In fact, the makers of Excel did not create Excel to be used as a data warehouse, as a data storage. Guys, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Those people that gave birth, that born Excel, the day they did the naming ceremony for Excel, they did not tell Excel that your function in this life is that you are going to be a what? A data source, a data warehouse, that people are going to be keeping data. They want you to be using it to manipulate data, to build reports, not to keep data. But it turns out that we use Excel to keep data. You understand? So, and we are using it. So we have a lot of sources, in short. We have text or CSV, JSON, folder, PDF, SharePoint folder, and a lot of other stuff like that. But what we are interested in today's class is what? Excel workbook. Excel workbook. And I click on connect because you need to know the source that you want to connect to, where your data is. So I'm going to navigate to the location of that file that says data set that I sent to you. I'm going to navigate to the location on my computer. And I click on sales dataset webinar. Okay. And I click on open. Are we guys still together?
Yes.
And I'm trying to create a connection. So it's creating a connection now. You only have to do this step just one time. Just one time. And the connection has been created. And can you see what happens now? In this new window I have, guys, look up, please.
Okay.
Look up.
Yeah.
Look up. You can see the calendar. That is the name of our sheet. That sheet, Excel sheet. You know, we have Excel workbook. We have several sheets inside. So these are what we want to work with. And it has a checkbox. Basically, I need everything. And I'm going to select everything there. I need them. You understand? And we have load. We have transform. What are we going to do, guys? Are we going to transform or load?
Load.
Since you said the data is clean already, so we just load.
We
transform.
We transform. The fact that the data is clean does not mean what's the English now? I'm sorry. That you should not transform. You have to go to transform. Go and use your Korokoro eyes to check again.
Okay.
You understand? That is the etiquette. That is the golden standard. Even though if your data, you see that, oh, this data is the best thing after jollof rice, just go and take it. Best thing after pounded yam, just go to transform data. Is that okay?
Power Query Editor. Okay.
So once you click on transform data, it is now going to take you to another place called what? Power Query Editor. Someone is really following me. Who is that person saying Power Query Editor?
SD.
SD, okay. Thank you.
Abdul.
Thank you, thank you. So it's processing I think I clicked on transform data. So So I am Zainab Ati Tebi. Have you gotten the data set now? Do you have problem with it or
Yes,
not?
yes. No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still
Ati
having
Tebi, it's
downloading
Ati
it.
Ati
Tebi,
Tebi,
Zainab
I'm
Ati
sorry.
Tebi.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
You know, I used to run away from Yoruba class in secondary school.
I'm still having issue downloading my TurboNet from Mac for the Mac. This is a client, but I'm following the class.
I think we talked on email, right? Have you gone in?
Yes. I couldn't. My network was bad yesterday night, so I'm trying to do it now while I'm following the class. But I don't know.
Actually, I think the best thing, to be frank, is to just get a Windows PC.
Wow, so I need to do it parallel. Wow. Okay.
Just to solve your problem. I mean, I'm not really sure if it's worth it to have a dual boot device or a virtual machine. I mean,
slow it down, but yeah, I'm following.
Yeah, you understand the cost benefits.
Yes,
because I like working with a fast computer. I mean, when you work with slow, it can give you a headache sometimes.
Yes.
You know, this life is hard already. So don't make it harder for yourself. Yeah. No, I mean, in a way. No, anyway, I'm just being frank in a way. I'm sorry, but it's just the reality of life.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand this, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm following the class, so I'm trying to speed down.
Yeah, thank you, Abdigoni. So we have okay, let me just, I believe you guys can see my Power Query screen.
Yes, sir, we do.
Yes. So we now have, in my left-hand side, can you see? The calendar, the LOB, yes, the model, sales, the region. Those are that Excel sheet. It depends on where you are. When you are in Excel, you call it a sheet. The moment you bring it to Power Query, each individual is called a query on its own. Are we guys together? Yes, so I'm on the calendar query currently now. It is showing me my what? My calendar data. I just check it. Everything is fine. I go to DLOB, I check the data type. I have the correct number beside it. You can change data type if it is not correct. And I go to DLOB, and DLOB is telling me, can you see what is happening over here? Zainab, you said we should load, and we are seeing why we should not load now. Can you see now I have column 1, column 2, line of business. In the actual sense, that first row is meant to be what is meant to be the column header. Do you get what I'm trying to say, guys? Which means yes. I need to come to transform. I need to.
No, please. I didn't get that part.
Oh, what I'm saying, look at this data very well. When you check this data, the data in Excel, this is how it looks like. Where are you now? I think we are on, which data was it? I think we are on LOB, right? Yes. It was, line of business is an header. It is not part of the data, it's an header. It's a column header. But look at what we have in Power Query. It has turned that line of business to what? To part of the rows that you have, which is not supposed to be. So you need to tell Power Query that, help me take that first row. Help me take it to where? To up. Is that okay?
Likewise, the D model too.
Yes, we have the same problem in D model, right? So we are going to come to the transform data, transform tab. And I'm going to come here under transform. I have use first row as header. And I'm going to click on use first row as header. Everything is fine. I'm happy. I go to DLM model. The model for me, I do the same thing. Use first row as headers. And I go to sales.
Please recap a bit.
I go to
the
sales.
Region 2. Region 2 has the
sales,
same problem.
Since it is fine, I go to the region, I check it. Can you see now that the first row is meant to be an header? And I come to use first row as header, and I click on use first row as headers. Is that okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay, guys? Are we good to go?
Yes, sir. I have a question, please.
I'm not done, no.
Please, quickly shoot your question, please, so
okay,
that
so
we save time.
Okay, so let's assume in the process of you loading your data, transforming your data, and you find out that one of your, probably what's supposed to be your header is in row number 7. Do you understand my question?
Yes.
How did you move it to?
That is not for this class. That is like a
how
special
do you-
question for you use Power Query to do it. It has a lot of functionalities anyway. There are a lot of things. I can use, if you give me 6 hours, I'm still going to be teaching you. I said 6 hours. Give me more than a day, 2 days, I'm still going to be teaching you what you can do in Power Query. You understand? So, so we have to, so I think everything is okay. Everything seems okay. We confirm. We just quickly click on close and apply. And when you close and apply now, it is going to take you where, guys? Let's just quickly go back here. What is the next step?
Close and apply? I can't see that.
In my top left corner. So after you have, remember we have done Power Query now. We have done this guy. We are the author. We have our raw data. We have done this. We now close and apply. What do you think is going to be the next step? Data model.
It will take us to where we want to be.
Power BI desktop.
Power BI.
Yes.
Desktop.
The
So
Power
inside the Power
BI.
BI desktop, exactly. Inside Power BI, it will take you to where you want to build your model. Are we following? That is just the next thing. You don't, if you don't, this is the order. I mean, even if you want to go and build these reports in another planet, in Jupiter, this is how we are still going to do it. That is the golden standard. And that is what I want to show you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's just quickly add to.
So after transforming the data, it automatically take us to the data modeling environment.
Yeah, so it loads the data to the power.
Hello, Mr. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. I mistakenly added for my region, my Power Query tab. I didn't know I've moved the first row. I've made the first row the header, so I did it again. So it overwrites the first one. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Just continue, yeah.
So like instead of making what is supposed to be the first row, I did it. It's not making.
I understand you.
Yeah. So what can I do to reverse it?
I just quickly I can always go back to my Power Query, guys. So when I want to go back to my Power Query, we want to quickly answer his question. So I just click on transform data and I click on transform data. So it takes me back to Power Query. Then it opens the Power Query guy. 1, 2, 3, you are opened. Power Query does not have Control Z, and that is why he has a problem. But it has something better than Control Z. We guys know what Control Z is.
Yes.
Yes. So it has something sweeter than Control Z. Everything I do in Power Query, I have it over here in my right-hand side. And if I see that I made a mistake, I've done something I don't want to do, I can just come here and delete that particular step. And that answers the question. Just delete and do the step you ought to do. So I need to, because we have time constraint, I have another class in like 4 o'clock, so which I need to attend to. So we need to, even before 4. So let's just quickly.
Not put on logistics.
Beg your pardon?
Hi, Mrs. Ada.
Oh, I don't think the person is talking to us. So mute all. Tajudeen Adeyemi,
sorry.
You are raising your hand. I'm not sure if you have been raising it for long, but I'm just saying it.
I sent to Mrs. Ada, but the number.
Tajudeen Adeyemi, you are raising your hand. Please, can you quickly use the chat and tell me what challenge you have? So basically, I have my reports view, my data view, and my model view. So I need to go to my model view. Remember, we need to build our data model. Whether you like it or not, that is what you should do first. So this is it. Power BI sometimes always wants to behave like a smart guy. You understand? It always wants to behave like a smart guy. Can you see now that okay, you are lost after clicking on transform. Just, it opens Power Query and it opens Power Query for you. Delete this step you have to delete. And I'm not really sure. Yeah, just follow what we've done. Just promote the headers, and that's all. Use first row as headers and click and load and apply.
So sorry.
So if you are just joining us, you might just need to observe us and follow us. You understand? You may not be able to catch up. So the video is going to be shared and you can follow us. Okay, so we are in our data model, guys. Power Query, Power BI, like I said, it always wants to behave like a smart guy. I've loaded my data now. You understand? Remember, so I have, we have several queries. We have the sales query, the calendar query, we have the LOB, and we have one other guy somewhere hiding the model. So basically your transaction data. So we can see I'm even seeing that there's a, okay, I'm even seeing that there's a problem we did not see. Can you see now that there are some rows that do not have any function in our sales data? Column 10, 11, 8, and 9. I did not see that. I can quickly go back to my transform data again and see that, oh, I do need this. There is no data there. You understand? That is what Power BI is. That's what Power Query is for. You understand? You can always go back there when your data has problem. That is where you make sure it is in the correct format. So we quickly go back to sales. We just right click. Can you see additional rows that have been added? So I don't need those columns. I can just select it and right click and click on remove columns. I did not see that before, but you can see now that is Power Query for us. And I can click on close and apply, everything is done.
Sorry to disturb. I want to ask something.
Please quickly ask.
Okay, yes, I want to ask that time where you showed us that you can always delete a step under the applied steps section in the.
Yes, please quickly ask your question.
So if you delete a step, there is no, like if you deleted one by error, is there a way you can bring it back?
No, it has gone. It doesn't have Ctrl+Z. Remember. So once you delete a step, it has been deleted. So you just have to apply it again. Okay, so we have all our different tables. We want to connect.
I have one question.
Please use the chat. Use the chat. Please use the chat so that we can move on. It's easier for me like that. So as I was saying, guys, if you are following me, we have different tables. We have the region, the LOB, the model, the calendar, sales. Remember, the sales guy is like our transaction data. In the language of Power BI, time will not permit me to explain everything like this to us. We call this sales data a fact table. It's a fact table. It's your fact file. You understand? Then we have all the other ones. All these other ones that their name starts with D. We call them dimensions. They are dimensions. So basically your dimension files, they are files that you use to explain, to add more insights, to enrich your data. You understand? So after you go back, if you want to go back, you can just click on transform data. That is how you go back. Some people, we have some noise. I'm sorry, guys. Participants, mute all. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry for the background noise. It's from someone, I don't know the person. So now, I believe you can hear me now. So these other guys are called your dimensions. The sales is called the what? It's called the facts file. So basically, all your dimensions are going to connect to the facts. That is what we have in data model. So you are going to create a relationship. Time will not permit me to even explain how to come up with this data model. Is another class on its own. Is another class we dedicate to do that. So and I'm not going to be doing that for us. But what we just need to know is that each in your dimension, there is going to be any of the column has a counterpart. It has like a border or a copy in the sales. So if you look at your D region now, can you see now that we have region, state, store? So it has a primary key there. It is going to have another key here inside your sales, which is going to be, you can say store. They are connected together already. Then under DLOB, we are going to see that line of business and line of business is connected. And over here, model is connected to model. So it's a separate class to explain that to you guys. So we can now see that the calendar is not connected to sales by default. So I need to look at what am I going to connect? In this case, I'm going to be connecting dates to trade dates. So how do I connect? When I say connect, it is English. That English might not be perfect, but it is English that I'm using to explain. The actual language is I want to create a relationship. So I'm going to create a relationship. How do I create a relationship? I'm just going to bring my mouse. Can you see that my mouse is on dates currently? Can somebody see that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to just do something. We have trade date over here. We also have dates. So we want to connect these two guys together. So I'm going to bring my mouse to dates. And by holding down my mouse, I'm just going to drop it on what? On trade dates. Once I drop it on it, then there's a relationship that is going to be, so it's working on the relationship and it has connected. So if you have your Power BI, after you have close and apply, it is very possible that some of those relationships have not been created for you. In fact, we always want it not to be created for us. We always want to create it ourselves. So that is the golden standard. So you can just drop store on store, drop line of business on line of business, and drop model on model. Everything is connected. And
can we relate this connection to the one, the primary and foreign key in SQL?
Exactly, nothing more than that. It is exactly primary and foreign key concepts. Okay. Nothing more than that. Thank you. So if you have an SQL background, it is primary and foreign key. You can also do something like this in Excel, in case you don't know. It's inside Power Pivots. Yes, you can do it in Excel. This is not the class to show you that. So we can. Oh, sorry, Titilayo, you have a video to watch. You can watch the video recording. So let me just. Okay, so these are Power BI now. So we have connected our what? We have, let me just go back to, I'm not sure if my PowerPoint, you can see my PowerPoint. Can you see it? Yes, no, yes. No, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can you see now that we've done our data model? What next? We can now visualize. Is that okay? So we quickly want to do visualization. But, a lot of people make mistakes. I'm using this opportunity to tell you whether we are going to meet again in any class or not. Don't jump to visualization. Don't jump to visualization. A lot of people, they see their data, they are always in an hurry that, oh, I quickly want to visualize. No, you can see now that we've done a lot of things before coming to visualization stuff. We have done a lot of steps. Visualization is not the first step. Even at this stage that we are now, the next step is not visualization. The next step is to conceptualize what you want to do, because whenever you want to build a report, basically you want to tell a story. That is always what I always tell people in my class. You always want to tell a story. So look at yourself as the designer, as the data analyst, as the person visualizing this data that wants to analyze this data. Turn yourself to an audience and see that what story do I want to tell with this data? So basically, I have told us in the WhatsApp class that we are, that we always want to answer questions about what, why, where, when, what other one? What? I think there are 5. What, why, where, when. I'm sorry. Who? Yeah, thank you. My English is not very good. I didn't do English in secondary school. That's why.
Or how?
What do you say?
Is it who or how?
Who is like, how is like, why? It's still, or it's still related to each other. You understand? But who is about individual? Like, who is that person that made the highest amount of sales in our organization?
Who is that manager? Who is that director?
Yes, who is that director that is driving our organization? You understand? Who is that president that gave us the highest GDP? You understand? When did that president do it? You can see, you are asking different questions. Where? Which country? Is it in Nigeria or another country? How did he do it?
Sure it can't be in Nigeria.
I'm not saying that. How did he do it?
What did he do?
Did he build more refinery? Did he invest in agriculture, invest in education, invest in healthcare? How? You understand? So when you do how now, you are basically going to be seeing that, checking how much was spent in each of these sectors. You understand? Who, what, how did he do it? Like, did he borrow money? Did he use treasury bills from rich people in the country? I mean, those are the kind of things we want to see. You can see now that we are already building a story in our mind, assuming we are working on economics data for a country. You understand what I'm trying to say, guys? So,
yeah.
But, okay. Okay, so now, let me just quickly explain something to us. Are we guys together? Yes, no, yes?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Because we have visualization pane over here, and we have our field pane. I did not even show you something, which is under my data. My data. Can you see now that I can navigate through my data? That data, the same way you have it in Excel, you have it here. But one thing in Excel is that in Excel, let me just quickly tell you again, you can see and manipulate each data by the cell address. You understand what I mean by cell address? In Power BI, it is using a columnar database. In that case, you can only do anything on a column. Anything you are doing can only be on the column or on the whole table on itself. You understand what I mean by table already? You understand, guys?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, thank you. So you cannot manipulate data on the cell level. You understand what we mean by cell? So we have our feed. I can open this guy and check all the fields. These are my columns under the calendar. These are my columns under the LOB, my columns under the model, my columns under the region, my columns under sales. So the first question, so basically what we need to do is, I'm not going to be telling you how to, that's going to take us another 30 minutes. You understand? But eventually, we want to answer questions about that. So let us look at how we are going to answer those questions. So we want to look at, so the first question is we want to answer is about where, which is basically about where is going to be telling us about region. So I'm going to go to my region data set, my region code table. I want to look at, in this region, how much sales are we making? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bar chart to visualize that. So I'm going to come to my visualization page. I click on that bar chart first. And it's going to appear over here. Once it appears, what is the next thing I'm going to do, guys? I'm just going to come to my field. I'm going to check region. It is as easy as that. And I'm going to come to sales. And I'm going to check on what? Revenue. And in just almost immediately, you are going to have your visuals. So if I want to do this in Excel, I have two methods I'm going to use. I can either use, I'm first going to do a sum if. After I've done sum ifs, I'm not going to do a visualization for my result, or I use a pivot table. Or
Please just come over this step a little bit. One more.
Okay, don't worry, you are going to see it. This is not the only thing we are going to do. So basically in Excel, you are going to do it with function using summations, or you are going to use, what's it called again? Pivot table, or you use your power pivot. In this instance, yes, it will be shared. Tayo or Akinola, it is going to be shared. So that is that about that. So we have created this visual. So whenever I want to create another visual, please note, you don't just go to your visualization pane immediately. You have to come outside and click on your canvas. After doing that, what do you do next? I now want to, this one has answered question for us about what?
Region.
Region. About where? You understand? So we can also answer question about model, about line of business. Which line of business? Or model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bar chart again. Because bar chart is used for visualizing, it's perfect for visualizing categorical data that has values. So after I have this visual now, this right-hand side, you can see now that there is nothing inside. Someone is asking me to come up by again. Please look up now. I'm not going to go under remember what we want to answer is about what product, what line of business, what model is selling, how are they selling? So I'm going to check my model. Once I check it, you understand what I mean by check? I'm going to check the checkbox. And I'm going to come to my revenue. That is what I'm interested in at the moment. And we have it.
Stuff like that.
You understand? So,
Mr. Jimo,
please quickly ask your question.
In the bar chart, is it any kind of?
Please, can you use the chat so that we can be fast about it?
Chart, is it any kind of bar chart?
I'm not sure I got your question. We have different kind of bar charts. There are different ones you can use, but I'm not teaching visualization. I'm just teaching you the onboarding, the basic report process. So we have a lot of bar charts. It has different ways we can use it. I prefer you use the chart so that I can quickly see. The one I'm using is a stacked bar chart, the very first guy you have over here. So after I've done this is my model. I can also do the same for my line of business. I'm going to just, where are you? I can decide to use a column chart in this case. Okay, Pro Network, you can hardly hear. Please, you can always watch the video again if you have a Pro Network. I'm sorry. You know Nigeria sometimes, if you want to work, and you are serious about your work, internet can be a challenge. Internet and electricity, they can affect your productivity. I mean, your productivity is even, what am I saying? Is even dependent on them. Am I correct? So we want to visualize our line of business. So I just check line of business, and I check my, I've done the wrong thing that I asked you not to do. So I'm just going to uncheck it. I need to select my, I'm sorry, just hold on for me 1 second, please. Okay, so you need to make sure any visual you want to do, you have to come on that particular visual first. It has been activated. Then we do line of business, we do revenue. So we have actually just answered question about what and where. We need to answer question about what next? About when. So in that case, the visual that is used best for doing when is a line chart. Whenever you have time series data, always go to line charts. So I'm going to come to my line charts. I want to use a line chart. And in my line chart, I want to put, I'm going to go to my calendar and I'm going to go to my month. I want to see month and revenue. So, okay, don't worry, Lawal, we are going to see it. So this is our month. But if we are very observant with our data, we are going to see now that this revenue by month, we have year also. So it has, what it has done. Okay, let's just pick it one after the other. If you look at this report now, this visual, we have March, May, April. And what we want is, we want it to start with what? With, what's it called? With January, to be in order. So how do you do that? We go to our data page, data view, we go to the calendar, and I come to my month. And under this month, guys, look up, I come to my, I'm under here, this month. Yes, you are going to get the recorded version, no problem about that. So I have this month, I'm going to sort it by column. And I'm going to sort it by month number. So which means that I'm giving it an order, because the order for our year, our month number, like January to December, is not alphabetical order. So we need to sort that one. And I'm sorry, I'm a bit, so we need to sort it. So I've sorted it by month number. I think so. Did I do that? Yes or no?
It did not. There was work in progress.
Okay. So I just come back to my reports view. I come back to my reports view. And in case it is not, so you can see now that it's sorting it by revenue. If I click on this ellipsis, this 3 dots, I can now go to sort by month. Remember, your month has already been sorted by month number. So I can now sort by month now. And it's sorting it in descending order. So I can now do ascending, and everything is fine in the proper way. So problem number 1 has been fixed. Problem number 2, when you check this data, you can see now that we have 2014 and 20, let me check, 2014 and 20.
Last year.
This data, we have 2014 and 2015. So in short, it has aggregated it, which is not correct. It is not supposed to aggregate 2014 and 2015. So remember, I was telling you something about slicing, right? So in the start of the class. So what I can do now is, I'm going to come over here, my visualization pane. I'm just going to come to slicer. And I'm not going to say that, what do I want to put in my slicer? I want to put year in my slicer. So after I've put my year over in slicer, can you now see that I have 2014, 2015? I can change how it looks. Where are you? Okay. So I can have it as a list. Okay, we have 2014. So we are saying that, okay, why is it blank? To answer that question, you can also, remember I told you can always go back to your Power Query. Let us just quickly check something that may be wrong in our D calendar. In our D calendar, 1212. So Power Query is always a place you can always go back to. It's not like when you are cooking food. You know, when you are cooking food, people will be thinking that maybe I like food too much. Anyway, whatever. So you guys are already thinking maybe I like food too much, right? So let's assume I like it.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, okay. You know, when you are cooking, if you have added too much salt, that process is almost irreversible. Except maybe you do some magic, but it's almost irreversible. If you have added water when you ought not to add water, that water has been added already. But there is really no going back. But in our reporting pipeline, it's not like that. You can always go back to your Power Query to adjust whatever you want to adjust. So this year, I just want to change first of all, I want to change it to text, the data type. Why is it going to be text? Because I'm not going to be aggregating. Whenever you have something as a number data type, you want to aggregate it. It doesn't give any informative value. If I want to add 2014 to 2015, that is going to be what? 4,000, and it doesn't have any value. You understand what I'm trying to say? So whenever you want to know data type, just look at, okay, do I want to aggregate this or not? So I don't want to aggregate it. Again, I click on this guy and I click on load more. And okay, so it seems our data is just 2014 alone. And I click on close and apply. You understand what I'm trying to say? So we have 2014 like that, and we can leave it. But if your data is not 2014 alone, you can, what is it called? You are going to have 2014 and 2015 and 2016, whatever like that. You understand what I'm trying to say, guys? So, okay, instead of doing it for year, let us change this slicer to quarter. I think it's going to bring home that point. Okay. Let me just quickly do something in my Zoom. Okay, we don't want to use year, and at this instance, we want to use quarter instead. So I uncheck here and I change it to quarter. So can you see now that I have Q1, Q2, Q3? So if I want to see all this visualization, maybe I'm just concerned about the sales in these regions in Q1. I just check on Q1. Once I click on Q1, I just click on Q1. If I'm interested in what has happened, can you see now that the visualizations are changing? If I click on Q2, can you see that what is happening on the screen is changing? If I click on Q3, what is happening on the screen is also going to change. You understand? So we can do Q4. Those are interactions. You can see I'm able to slice my data. But this is just a tip of iceberg. We have not even done, I've not even shown you 10% of what Power BI can do. You understand? Or what you can do in Power BI. You can see now that what we have done is a basic aggregation of sum. But in reports, you are not interested in sum alone. We are interested in percentages. We are interested in average. We are interested in doing a lot of stuff. You can do financial modeling in Power BI. In financial modeling, you are not doing sum alone. You can create a financial statement in Power BI. You can do a lot of things in Power BI. You can check the rate of growth in Power BI. You can do trend analysis in Power BI. We did not do that in today's class. You understand, guys? So, but this is just a tip of an iceberg to expose us to what is possible with Power BI. And let me just quickly, because I think so that's Power BI for us. And like I've discussed already, the opportunities it gives us, let me just, 1 second, please. I just need to, where is this? 1 second. Hold on for me, please. So, please hold on. Okay. So that's just Power BI. There are still a lot of things we can do. We did not talk about Power BI service. We did not talk about how to clean data. We did not talk about, there are a lot of things we did not do. I mean, basically, when you come back to this PowerPoint, I did not show how to actually, I think I showed how to do the data model, but what I did not show is that how do you even know what to be in what? The things, the element of each table. How do you know it? It was not shown. How to clean and transform data, it was not shown. The methodology in building Power BI reports, it was not shown.